Yo, people. Teasing the Bics. We're here with a little something different today, a mystery episode. We're here with the main boys, myself, Harry and Tom. So as we're here, T and Bics, got a couple of mystery guests. My guy Zig right here. Say what's going on, say hello. Obviously the main man, mystery guest back here. This is Nathan. Introduce yourself, my man.
And I'm Nathan, Mr. Bearface.
And the man himself, come on in, my man, come on in, we're all here, we're all just chilling. Right, so, for anyone that doesn't know, my man over here, Nathan, Mr. Bearface, he's an entrepreneur, he's all of that, so just explain yourself, man. Bearface, I want to know, like, where did the inspiration for that, like, sort of come from, like, the name and all of that, what made you choose, like, Bearface, like?
So in a nutshell, it was a bit of a long story, but I'll put it in a nutshell. It started off with a stencil drawing on my face, but I thought to myself, no one's going to really want to wear a picture of my face on it, like clothing with my face on it. So I thought, how can I put my personality into the brand itself and in the clothing? And the type of person I am was like outgoing, type of in your face, not the ordinary. So I literally put two and two together. Bearface literally means the exact same thing. And then I incorporated literally an animal, bear, and then a face, which is my personality as well. So that's how the name really came about.
That's really interesting, man.
Like, did you have any like outside inspiration at all or influence?
Literally, in regards to the name, didn't really have a name. It was literally just myself. But the reason why I originally started a clothing brand was I used to spend too much money on clothes. So I thought to myself, as we all do, you know what I mean? So I thought to myself, obviously, saving money, why not make my own clothes? I can incorporate my own fashion, my own style to how I like to wear clothes.
You can incorporate it's all you, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like, if you're starting your own brand, it's all just coming from you, and that's really interesting. So I was thinking, when a lot of other people come up with names and things, like I've been trying to come up with names for certain things, and I never thought of it like that. That's really interesting. Like, that's actually really cool. I fully rate that.
Okay, so question I wanted to ask is, like, how did you get into designing in a whole? Like, just how did you get into that?
Yeah, so designing as in the logo or designing the clothing itself?
The clothing itself.
The clothing itself. So the clothing itself, well, when I first started, it was only like t-shirts and jumpers and things like that, and then down the line it got a bit more complex. So that's why I kind of not hired, but had some help from one of my guys, Josh here. He's actually one of the main designers. So it's just having the same people, like-minded people. Yeah. Giving you ideas, and then you kind of just work off that, really.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been working off each other as well.
Literally, just been working off each other.
Okay.
That's really good. That's really good, because you want to have that, like, and it's we're obviously your friends as well, and you want to, like, you stick with the ones that like what we're doing as well. Like, we've been boys for years, and we're just sticking. And we're all the same. We all kind of come up with this sort of idea. So that's really nice, man. That's interesting.
It's good when you have the same idea.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of like some friction in it.
Yeah.
Add up together.
You both work off each other.
100.
So over the years, obviously, Nathan's obviously developed like a team now. So we've got like a team in place now. So everyone's just supporting, putting their ideas in. So
how long has it been since you started?
Yeah.
It's coming up to 2 years now.
That's not long. It's not long at all. Yeah. And it's crazy because when I met you two both through work, but I actually saw Bearface months before I even met you guys, and knew about it, just living around in Kent and things like that.
That's crazy, because whenever obviously it just seems so surreal when, let's say for example, there's someone that I don't know, and then at a point of time, and then I meet them, and then I tell them about Bearface, and then they say to me, I've heard of that before. It seems so surreal to me. It's like, wow, it's actually reaching
getting
people that I don't know.
That is crazy. A real point for everyone when they get to that. But another question that I want to come in with is, what was the what are steps for people out there who are creating their own brands? They're coming up. Obviously, you don't have to have all your secrets, because obviously there's secret ingredients for everything, isn't there? But for anyone out there that's got a brand and stuff like that, do you want to just advice, like staples?
A few do's and don'ts, maybe.
So the main, I think one of the main things is having a concept. So if you have a concept, to be able to relate to people, because people like being able to relate. So for example, like Nike or Adidas, obviously big brands, but when they started out,
running, sports.
Exactly,
sports.
So that's what a lot of people can relate to. Sports, a lot of people do sports and things like that. So it's mainly just having a concept and running with that concept throughout your whole brand, and then people would actually start to recognise that. And say for example, the reason why I use Bearface London, I'm from London City. I do a lot of shoots in London. People are able to relate with that because a lot of people are from London or from a specific city. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So another part I would say, which is very important, is consistency. So what a lot of people do nowadays is they'll start something, and then when they see that it's not working at that point of time, they'll just quit. And that's what a lot of people have problems with, is having that consistency. You look back at companies like Amazon, Tesla, they only started making a profit 10 years from when they originally started. So the main thing is just having consistency, because people pick up on that. Same thing with YouTube, with you guys.
100%.
When you guys started, obviously it was slow, but now that you lot are consistently bringing out videos and stuff, people are starting to recognise that. You see what I'm saying? I'll make a last point as well. There's so many points, but I just want to put it in a little nutshell. Another thing is, obviously we've spoken about like-minded people. You need to have like-minded people around you to give you that motivation. You need a lot of motivation and positivity around you. If you have negative people around you, it's gonna bring you down. So it's gonna then make you start thinking maybe exactly. And then obviously another big thing when you're starting clothing is having a supplier. That's one of the biggest things. If you have a supplier based in the UK, you're gonna be spending untold amounts of money. So you wanna. The main places I would obviously say would probably be Turkey, China, anywhere in Asia, to be honest. There's a lot of different places, but you need to really have a good manufacturer and finding the right one. It takes a long time, it's trial and error, it's a lot of trial and error. I've experienced that. Ask these guys. I have had so many.
What have you like signed up with one?
We've got plenty.
And then it's come back and it's been bad quality kind of thing.
So we've gone through like 20, 30 manufacturers and
it
hasn't worked out. But
it's difficult when you've got a deadline to make. And they kind of like delaying it.
So originally when we first started, you had a summer collection. Summer collections are usually, you release them April, May time. But whereas we didn't really have a manufacturer, we was testing it out, we would then release the summer collection in like June time, and then we'd miss our deadline. Sales wouldn't be as good because people have already purchased their summer clothing in April, May time. Do you know what I'm saying? So another point is timing. That's another big thing. Is making sure you're on time, you're on point with everything, so then everything just falls into place.
Especially having manufacturers abroad, so it's very important to get the timing right, shipping it down,
make a big difference.
Everything.
So you got to cram it in, all in, make sure you get that little details and stuff.
That's so interesting. It's nice to hear.
Especially people that are really into their clothing, they'll notice little details like that as well.
I'll say
small details that makes a difference.
From the clothing side, I would say to definitely test out your clothes. Even if it comes in, wash it a few times, see the quality of it.
100%.
And I would say when it comes to people starting businesses as a whole, I would say mindset is very key. You're going to make a lot of errors, so it always change everything to a positive. Keep that mindset positive, and it will help you motivate yourself to motivate yourself more to do the work, so just
you want to just try and learn from the mistakes.
Exactly.
You've got to take the negative feedback as
exactly. And another thing is don't be afraid to make a mistake, because a lot of people just like to get it right the first time. But the thing is, if you do that the first time, it's all good that you're doing that and you're saving time, but you're never gonna learn from it to know.
You've got to do mistakes.
Exactly. If another point of time comes where that's happened for you, you're not gonna know. I shouldn't do that next time to then prevent that. Exactly. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. You're going to in business, but it's a learning curve.
Come on! Come on!
Masterclass.
Literally, it's everything.
How to
use.
The question I had was, who do you feel like your audience was like, or your brand was directed at in the first, like when you first started to now? How do you feel like it's grown? Do you feel like your audience has changed at all?
It's a sticky one, because obviously, whereas it's only 2 years into from establishing the brand, we're still trying to find our audience, but I feel like we've narrowed it down, because obviously that is trial and error as well, finding your audience. Originally,
you started off with like obviously kind of doing clothes for yourself, really. So you've been kind of doing his own sort of trend, and then from there, obviously, that.
I suppose that's how you know if it's catching or not. You've got people noticing you a lot more.
Exactly. Whereas with the brand as well, like in terms of design, I don't really see anyone doing stuff like fur, because obviously with the brand, the main concept of the brand is like fur. You've got embroidery. I don't do prints anymore. It's literally just embroidery, because my main reason for clothing is quality, rather than just kind of getting it out there and making money. My main thing is obviously the quality, and obviously the design. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's more of the end product.
Yeah,
the end product, definitely.
So we've seen a lot of brands, people, you know what I mean, bring in, it looks like, do you know what I mean, just a print, it looks like a PE top, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so we're not trying to, you know what I mean, we're trying to do, you know,
do proper
the best
things,
quality.
You need the quality to have it behind it, because anything, and it's like tiny little things that even with the jumper I'm wearing now, it's not, if there was just a night tick there, I wouldn't rate it, but where it's there, there's one on the back there, it's different. It's like, look, just tiny little things like that I love in clothes, especially, so it's, if you're aiming to go for people that are thinking the same way that we are, then that's the route, isn't it? And it's nice that you know that you're still finding something, but you've still got your basis group of people that you can aim for. Do you know what I mean? Which is all. It's what you want with a brand, really, isn't it? And another question that I wanted to come in with is, so far, what do you think's been your favourite like time or day with it all? Like, what was one? What's a moment in your head when I say that to you? Like, what's something that's instant? You're like, that's the thing, innit? Like, to do with your brand, obviously.
What, as in like a specific?
A big highlight.
Yeah,
a highlight. There you go, like a nice highlight. What was the day where you were like,
what
shit?
would you say?
I would say for me it's the feedback that you get from people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's overwhelming, isn't it? When you get positive feedback, say, "Oh, where do you get that from?" and you tell them.
Yeah, I think another one was it was one of my friends. I didn't actually see it. It would have been mad if I saw it. But one of my friends was in London one time on the street. He saw someone in a Bearface t-shirt, and he rang me up straight away and he told me it was a stranger. He didn't even know the person, just a random person in Bearface. And when he told me, I just thought, wow, like,
that is crazy.
Yeah. That is mad, though.
That's like a
Yeah, but
level.
you
You were telling come on.
You were telling me earlier that like you shipped to as far as like New York. So can you imagine? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The potential's there even now.
100%.
It's crazy.
Does that ever cross your mind going abroad, maybe opening a shop, or?
That's
is there like
is that like a dream? Is that a goal, or?
Do you know what? We're the main focus. We've actually got a fashion show / exhibition in 2021.
Is
February.
there any specific date? Because you can
February. It's from February the 9th to the 11th. It's actually a 3-day exhibition.
Okay.
It's called Pure London. It's at the Olympia.
Okay.
In London. Nice. Whereas there's loads of different retailers that's there. So you got Selfridges, Harrods, Zalando, JD. Everyone is there basically. Yeah, there's loads of people there, and we've actually got ourselves a stall there.
Come on.
So our main focus now is kind of working towards that. We're trying to get our brand in a retailer itself, and then from a retailer eventually we'll then open up a store, but we're mainly just based online. We've got our website and things like that, but that's the aim, is getting into a retailer at the moment.
That's amazing, man.
Good retailer.
It will come as long as if you keep doing what you're doing right now. Like it's all.
Did you have one before? Like
I did, yeah. So I did have a and some of the people ask me this all the time when I tell them that I've got like an exhibition with like loads of retailers and stuff. Because when I originally went there, I just went there not to sell the brand or anything like that. I was just wearing the brand, and I met someone from Topman that was actually at that same exact exhibition, and he wanted my clothing in Topman. He was one of the main main guys. But I said to him, I thank you for the interest, but I'm not interested, because I want Bearface to be like an alone brand type of thing. If my clothing was sold in Topman, it would be named Topman.
It gets saturated. It would get saturated.
Independent.
I want to be independent.
That's really
so that's why we're mainly want to go into retailers. So Selfridges, they sell various different designer
Oh,
brands.
of course, they've got Gucci, but
Exactly.
it's all individual bits inside their own.
We want to
stuff.
head in that direction.
That's
Definitely.
good. That is really good, man.
But it's a good start, I guess. You know,
And
if you
you're
get an
good in your head
opportunity.
for someone to say no to something like that. Like,
Stay
you've got-
cool
you've
with
got-
that
yeah, you've got to
situation.
be-
Yeah.
you've got to
Get
be
to
in your
it.
head for
Yeah.
Motivated.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's
So
what's the highlight of yours? Come on.
my highlight is I think when I went to London, I think I just bought a jumper, and you know people just come up to me and say, "Where'd you get that from?" I'm thinking,
Oh,
yeah, and also we went to Cyprus as well. We went to Cyprus. Like a lot of people were saying, "Where are you getting?" Especially our the man bag, strap bag.
The chest.
Yeah, a lot of people come
That
up
is
saying,
nice
you know,
though. That's like an
a lot of
iconic
people,
piece
yeah.
of the brand. I feel.
Another one actually would be. Have you heard of GQ magazine before?
Yeah.
They approached us. They sent me an email. They wanted the clothing in their magazine and whatnot. So
Mate.
we was we was in talks with them, but won't disclose what happened.
Some stuff.
Disclose what happened.
Leave
But
that there.
obviously, magazines have been shouting us and stuff, but we're very picky. Like
for the right
just
reasons.
for the right reasons.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
understandable.
For the right
Completely
reasons.
understand.
It's our image on the line.
You have to
do you know
stick
what
to your
I'm
guns.
saying?
That is you. Like that is your thing. Like that is all you.
Because
That's
you
what I mean.
put a lot of work in it, so we don't want to be isolated. Do you know what I'm saying?
100.
So we just want to
Yeah.
reach the best.
Keep the independency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Okay, yeah, so my question now is, the industry that you're in, how are you finding dealing with like other brands or companies? How have they been with you?
So we've had a few kind of situations where we've come into contact with, it could be a brand or a company. Like for example, when I told you guys about GQ shouting us and things like that. The main thing I would say is make sure, putting it nicely, you know your. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Like with anything.
With anything, yeah.
Proofread the emails.
Exactly.
know.
Make sure you have a solicitor or a lawyer to read terms and conditions, because there's in the industry it's very cutthroat. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Catch.
There's always a
Always
catch.
a catch.
Whenever you hear like good news or something, there's always something in it for
They're
them.
trying to get you.
Do you know what I
something.
mean?
They're trying to
Do
do
you know what I mean?
something.
So you just got to be very wary and very careful with the industry that you're in. The same thing with you guys. When you guys are on YouTube and you eventually you're not going to get sponsors that want you and things like that. Remember, there's always a catch. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to keep level-headed with these sorts of things.
That's it.
So it's the same with anything. People are always trying to make the best for themselves.
Exactly.
Not everyone's looking out for the little guy. Out
They see the
there.
potential in what you're doing, but they want to just take
advantage of you.
they want to take your
I
money.
want to take that from you.
Kind of
You
thing.
know what I mean?
There's no one having tea and Bics.
I would say just make sure any questions you got, just make sure you know keep that connection, ask everything you need to. Don't keep anything in your mind in case you know you're in a situation that you thought something and you didn't tell them and it leaves you.
And always ask. Don't be afraid to
No.
ask them. Like
Yeah.
and it may be a silly question, but at least you know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know within yourself that you've asked everything that you need to, and there's nothing in the back of your head that thinks, should I have said
Like
something
second-guess
else?
yourself.
And never second guess yourself.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? Just be
Just-
straightforward.
Go straight
At the end
forward.
of the day, they will put something in the plate for you
So,
that looks feeling or sounds feeling to you, but it's up to you to read into what's there,
Yeah.
and what's behind it.
It's not always as it seems.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of it is actually sugar coated. Do you know what I'm saying? So just be straight to the point with it. If they're not going to be, then
exactly.
you might.
It's the
as well,
glamorous
you know what I'm saying?
reality of
Exactly.
that sort
We're
of
telling this for the
industry.
people out there.
Yeah.
We're telling
Watch
this for the
yourselves.
people
out there.
Watch yourselves out there. Come on now.
Sorry, guys.
Right, so a question I just want to come in with is obviously we've been good friends for a while, so I know you and all that sort of stuff. But I think because a lot of people, when they're starting something, as you were saying earlier, and then they start and they quit it and whatever, but a lot of people always say that they don't have enough time for this, or they don't have enough time for that to do all these things. Where do you find time for it all? Like, because obviously we haven't picked on it yet, but you've got another thing, Steady Shots, which is why this is all in such beautiful cameraing and stuff today. But yeah, just both of you two, like, where do you all find time for this, really? Like,
To be honest, it's it's very time consuming, and you can fit in, you know, if you've got the right motivation and stuff like that. Me personally, I do a lot. So when people say to me they ain't got time, I know that's just a petty excuse, because this is literally what I do. I gym, obviously I box, I work, and obviously I'm in university part-time, and I still got the business, the Bearface, and my own business. So when someone tells me they ain't got time,
it's all about the mentality, isn't it? It's all about that, going back onto what we said earlier.
So I'm trying to fit all that in, and I'm able to do it. You know what I mean? As long as you get up 7, and you know what I mean, concentrate what you're doing and finish in the evening.
That's another important thing is waking up early, man, to fit
100%.
everything in. Because if you're that type of person that wakes up at 11, 12 o'clock,
that's your day done.
Your day basically done, like when you're starting work. So if you get up, let's say you get up at like 6 or 7 in the morning.
If I don't, that's my day. I've messed up my day, so I have to get up 7.
Getting up early is important, because then you can fit that in, whether it's an hour or 2 working within the business, and then you do your everyday life.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? So another thing is just kind of having that balance. Do you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they do say like what you did say. It's a petty excuse when you come up with excuses and you say, oh, I don't have time to do this because I've got my personal life. I want to have a social life, things like that. Sometimes you've got to prioritise your business for a social life for the time being. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's an important thing.
You want to do and achieve, you always make time for it.
100%.
We mentioned being consistent earlier. That's one of the main key.
Something that also that I just want to touch on is that you brought up earlier about the embroidery and all that sort of stuff where you like that. But is there a new collection coming out with newer things like that and all that sort of stuff? So
just a little prototype. I'll show you quickly of the jeans if you want to have a little
Here we are. Come on.
And stuff. So we've got a winter collection coming up that should be released by next month actually.
Okay.
We got the jeans, we got cargos coming out. We got the coming out. Yeah, so we're always working, whether it's behind the scenes or sometimes we do show like behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, we got a collection coming out, so you see that very soon.
So everyone tune in.
Get that.
This is also a bit of an old collection right here, and look what's in the back.
But you love
to see it.
Where can anyone find these garments online? Like your Insta, your website?
We've got a website, www.bearfacelondon.com. You can check that out.
Lovely.
Cool.
Check also the Instagram.
Bareface
It'll all be
London.
linked. It'll all
All
be
in the
linked.
description.
Bareface London.
Love
there, man.
Love that. Right, and you mentioned just a second ago, Zig, another business.
So,
and obviously, this is for.
Yeah.
We're going to come in with something very different now for y'all, and over to my man Zig.
So I've just set up a new business for myself, a property investing business.
Very nice.
So yeah, I've started that. I've always wanted to get into properties. You know, when I was young, my dad watching. What is it?
Designs.
Like designs on holidays.
Grand
You know, look at
designs,
houses. I always,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Sat down, place and something. You know, so I've always, had that interest in properties and stuff like that. And like what you said, when I was kind of going to workshops, going to trainings and stuff like that, they obviously said you need time, stuff like that. And I've always said to myself, I ain't got time because obviously I'm at uni. So I thought, you know what? If that's something I want to do for the rest of my life, I might as well start it young, make mistakes now. So, I did it, and I still found time for it. Obviously, I'll do a lot with work, but my days off is the business. When I have half days, is the business. So at the moment, things are going well. I've got a mentor in Luton who I work with. He's got many properties, so I'm in Luton. In his office,
learning off him,
exactly, working with him. So at the moment I'm just sourcing deals, looking for houses, obviously in negotiation of some houses, so just hopefully
things are going to come together.
And that's another thing. If you're young, that's the perfect time for you to start doing a business.
Things,
because you don't have that many responsibilities. You may not have kids. You may have kids, which is another sort of thing that you would need to. Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? But if you're young, you don't have many more responsibilities, so you just take action. Do you know what I'm saying? Start while you're young.
So
what is it that it actually involves, because I know the name, but it's Alexis Estates.
Yeah, yes.
For all the people that are out there, because no one gets taught this sort of stuff in school. So like for all the people, all of you out there watching this right now, who don't understand, just trying to give us some little steps.
So like obviously I've always wanted to do property. So in the back of my head, I've always thought how to start it. And with properties, it's not something you can just like. You obviously don't learn it in primary school, secondary school. You've got to kind of find the right people.
Did you have any leads like your dad? Did your dad help you at all?
Nah, it was literally
just
on my own, and obviously Nathan had in mind obviously doing properties, and we went to a crash course in London.
Did you say that helped you a lot?
Yeah,
that was
like
a 3-day crash course. That was like 48 hours of time.
Yeah, so we went to that. We learned a lot from it, and then we obviously met people doing training courses, but we have to be smart because we have to be smart. We don't know if they're there for the money or if they're actually there. They're going to give us the most knowledge, the right information. So that was quite hard to get the right people because it's not.
You never know who you're going to be dealing with in those sorts of situations. Complete strangers. Exactly. Yeah.
So luckily, I found like a good mentor that he was real with me. I've met him as a friend. Okay. So. That I pursued him, and I got a 6-month mentoring with him, and things are looking good. So just got to hopefully it breaks through, and
Do you
you lot out properties?
Yeah.
I've got all
Team Bics houses. Come on.
Do you want to base yourself in London? Is that where you want to be, or do you want to find some properties down here you can snatch up? Or
the best place to start properties is in your area, since you know the ins and outs of the areas, obviously the crime rates and stuff like that. But the more, since this is something I want to do for the rest of my life, the more I do it, I would like to obviously expand. Go international. My mum's house, my parents' house, like their own countries.
Yeah, so, I feel that. Yeah.
So that would be good.
That's so interesting, man. Yeah. Like for all of you out there who don't understand all that I have no idea when it comes to any of that sort of stuff, man. Like, I wish I was taught it. Like, I wish that's proper things that you need to know. You need to know about that. You need to know about how to look after your body. You need to know about how many cells are in a leaf. Do you know what I mean? Like pointless stuff. That's stuff that needs to change.
Yeah, but it's I've done a lot of reading books, folders. I'm still reading books now, so
that's another important thing.
You've
reading books, reading, man.
Reading so helps a lot.
So
important. Do your own research.
Imagine getting, someone so high up you don't know them, you've got no connection, but just reading their book can gain their knowledge.
Because it's another thing when you have someone telling you certain things and passing their knowledge on to you. It's all good and taking that info in, but it's good to do your own research for you to then understand.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
Because if you're going out of your way to look for it, you're gonna learn it. Whatever if you want to learn something, you're gonna learn it. So if you're going out of your way to go read that and do whatever you're doing to find research for it, then you're actually gonna remember what you're learning.
You need to put yourself out there.
Yes. 100%.
You have to.
I was going to say, you can't put all your eggs in one basket either. You just need to keep your options open.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, where did the name and all that, the influence for that come from?
I'm not going to lie, it was very, very hard to find a company name because there's so much out there. But this one, Alexis is my mum's surname.
Oh, that's nice. I'm sure she appreciates it. I'm sure she appreciates
it. But obviously I didn't want to put my dad's son, obviously he's African, and it's like a paragraph. You know what I'm saying? So I went with Alexis, and obviously Alexis states
it sounds.
It sounds. It sounds quite nice. So I thought, I'll keep it as that.
As well.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a meaning to me, so I thought, hey, that's good. So and obviously, hopefully, if it's well, my mum can
do well.
Give me a little applause.
Straight.
Family can give me a little applause and that. But
Up with the idea for Steady Shots, like the topic that it actually is, so the editing and just the idea itself.
It's a collaboration between me and Kallum, the cameraman.
Yeah.
Back there, come on. Making all of this happen.
Say hi, Kallum.
So really it started. He is mainly into wedding photography, videography, and obviously the reason why I started videography and photography was because of Bearface. But then we incorporated ideas and thought we both do the same thing,
this,
and we can help other people, other businesses out. So yeah, that's how it originally started.
It fits together so well.
Yes.
Like you guys do
It's
fit
like
together
a
very
puzzle.
well.
Mm.
Yeah, literally.
It's connecting together.
It's good to have. Let's say, for example, you've got a business. It's good to have everything in house so that you know exactly what you lot want.
Yeah.
Because if you bring someone external in to shoot your videos and things like that and edit in your own their way, it's not your ideas that's incorporated. It's theirs. So if you have everything in house, it's like a puzzle, like you said.
Yeah.
It's nice to have everything all in place. So Steady Shot, we do wedding photography, commercial photography. We do music videos, we do adverts, different things like that, and then we also do video editing.
Lovely. So if any of you need your music videos done, holler at your boys at
Come on.
Steady Shots, come
through.
on now. Literally.
Check their ads.
Alexis States. We've got Instagram as well and a website. You
Facebook.
see us.
All of that.
Facebook.
But right, everyone, I want to thank you all for watching and say thank you to all you lovely lads over here. Thank you guys. It's been great. It's been wonderful. Lovely. And it's
Cup of tea.
peace out from
All the
these
boys. All the boys.